up, baseball fans? Welcome to another podcast from the Zebra Lounge. With Mike and Andrew, I'm Mike. It's time to do those American League Baseball predictions for the 2007 season. Boys, diving right in. Who do you see winning that powerhouse of a division in the AL East?
I hate to sound like a broken record, but I'm going to pick the Yankees here. The pitching is thin, but going on our Mets theory that you guys have about hitting outweighing the pitching, and I think that they still have the best team. They're the class of that division.
I'm going to take the Red Sox, and I think it'll be nip and tuck the whole season. I'll take the Red Sox. I'm thinking Daisuke is going to be a big impact in that.
What about Beckett? Is he going to get better this year?
I think he can't get worse. That guy's not a 5 ERA pitcher.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a big season.
Kurt Schilling knows how to get it done too.
Yeah, definitely. So I do, I like that team, and obviously their lineup speaks for itself.
Right.
I mean, it might not quite be the Yankees, but
the length.
It's right there.
The Red Sox lineup might speak for itself, but the Yankees lineup might speak for one of the best historical lineups in all of baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got Jorge Posada, multi-all-star, hitting 8th in that lineup. I mean, they are stacked from top to bottom. I do think the Red Sox have better pitching with, Schilling, Beckett, and the addition of Daisuke, but you still got, the Yankees picked up Kanagawa and Chuming Wong. That guy.
Chuming Wong is a Cy Young candidate.
Absolutely.
He's really very good.
I think they're underrated.
And of course,
great.
they Pettit back in their rotation. If they pick up Clemens, their rotation is as good as anyone.
I think the Red Sox are more of a front runner, but I will say I think he's going to New York or Boston if he's going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they're the only people who spend money, like fucking Daniel Snyder in Major League Baseball.
Well, Houston did it, but they're not going to be
going
around
anywhere.
this
They're
year.
not going anywhere.
Right, that's not going to be.
I will say this though, I'd love to take the Blue Jays. I'd love to, but I just can't do it yet. They're a good team.
Yeah.
They've got some good young hitting. I love
finished ahead of the Sox last year.
Yeah, they did. I love Rios, Vernon Wells, the big Hurts there now, and the rotation's pretty good with Halliday.
Burnett's got to be healthy. Halliday's got to be healthy.
And that Chacon kid.
The left field, he's good.
If he's healthy, that's a pretty good top 3.
No, definitely. I mean,
so I would say look for them to maybe make a little noise towards the wild card.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Just probably not the double race.
No, it's not a devil right here.
Carl Crawford's going to carry them. Seth McClung is close.
It's a Devil Rays Pirate Series, people. You heard it here first. All right, back to reality. Who you like in that AL Central? I want to start with you. I want to hear you not pick your White Sox.
No, I'd love to pick I think the whole thing with the Sox is they're a good team, but the only way they win is on a big mid-season deal. They make a big trade for someone mid-season, be it a pitcher or position player. As it stands now, the Tigers are still the class of the division. But it's just like the NL Central, top to bottom, it's pretty close. All 4 of those teams, minus the
Royals.
The Royals, you could pick for the division. But even with Kenny Rogers out, that rotation is still pretty damn good.
Kenny Rogers, I don't think is the cornerstone of that rotation. I think it's their youth with your Bondermans and Verlanders and Maroc, and those guys were good enough to dominate. Granted, they faded a little at the end.
Well, Maroc didn't pitch at all last year. He's coming back, so he's got a fresh arm.
But absolutely, but still, I think even without the fresh arm aspect, you got a bunch of guys with a year of seasoned experience under their belt. I think they're going to be a better pitching staff this year than last year, and I think they're going to take it.
And Gary Sheffield.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
That's a formidable lineup too with Pudge.
Well, here's the one thing about that though. This is the same thing that we said about the White Sox going into 06. The team had just been to the World Series on the strength of their starting pitchers who were all coming back, and they added a big bat like Jim Tomei for Sheffield. And the Sox faded last year. Faded to the tune of 90 wins. Yeah,
but the Sox brought back a lot of veterans who had, maybe their peak season. These are Detroit kids who are still coming into their own.
John Garland, Mark Burley are still pretty young pitchers, and they showed clear fatigue last year.
I'm not convinced that the Tigers are the absolute class act, but I mean, it's hard to say that a team that did what they did in the offseason and had success they had last season is not going to win the division.
Absolutely. I'm sure you can make a case for any one of those teams.
Oh, I like that division a lot. I think the Twins, everyone underestimates them every single year. They'll be good. The Indians look very scary. And the White Sox are a good team.
Oh, Jesus. Travis Hafner's frightening.
Yeah, Brady Sizemore's
and he can go get him in the outfield, too. I mean, he's a player. That's a really talented division. I'd say top to bottom, it's the most talented in baseball.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And if they didn't beat up on each other so much, I would say maybe we could see a wild card coming from there again. And maybe you could still.
Oh, you could. I think
too much talent out east, in my opinion.